G'day folks, on a windy but warm northeast Victorian morning, I've come out to this dam to do some yabbying. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now recently I introduced you to these yabby nets that I bought, these crawfish nets. Look at that, there's 5 of them in one hand right there, they fold up really compactly. And they were received with mixed feelings. Some people laughed at them, some said they were pointless, others said they looked very nifty and very handy. Anyway, this is my second session with these nets. Let's see how we go. Right, my nets are all baited up and I've got chicken tenderloins. 5 nets with chicken tenderloins in them. Let's get the nets in. I'm going to put one here. One here. One here. Oh, that's a bit deep. One here. If it's not too deep, just. And I put one here under all this grime and algae and crap. Right, let's give them 10 minutes and see how they go. Right, it's 10:14. I'll leave them in there now until 25 past 10. That's a bit over 10 minutes and we'll take it from there. If I'm catching a few yabbies, I might check them every 10 minutes. If I'm not doing any good, I might leave them in for half an hour. But we'll see how we go after 10 minutes. Right, it's 10:25, time for the first check, the slightly impatient check. And nothing. Checking them too early, might still be a little bit too cool. Number 2. Oh, there was a big one on the edge. There was a big one on the edge. I should have looked it up a bit quicker. I'll do that with this net. That's a sign, that's a sign. Go quick. Oh yes, there's a big one. You beauty. And a big one it is. And that's what I want, some big eaters. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna put it in my bucket. It's not the biggest yabby I've ever caught, but it's still quite a big yabby. Awesome. In the water. Righto, we're off to a good start. Nothing in that one. Righto, the last net, this is the one under the grime. Nothing. Righto, well I caught one and lost one. That's a good start. Righto, let's go check them again. It's been about 10 minutes again. Oh, look at them all. Yeah, baby, 3. 3 in the net, including a big one. Oh, if I can get enough big ones, I'll have I can feel a cook up coming on. He's big enough. Not huge, but he'll do. I put that one back. I'll put that one back. Come on, mate, back you get. All right. Awesome. This is the one where I had that big escapadus before. And, oh, he's an escapade again. He was on the edge of it again. If I'd left the net in for probably 30 more seconds, I reckon I would have caught him. this is the net where I got that big one before. Is there another big one? Two. One fell out. Is a little bait one. And that one's a little small. Little bit small. I'll put him back for now. There was two in it, but one of them was a little bait-sized yabby that flicked through the net and just landed in there somewhere. I'm getting a few, and this is good. And ta-da! Nothing. Right, final net. Oh, I'll barely reach it. I'll just step into the mud here a bit. And none up here. They all seem to be down the other end of the dam. Right, now I've caught 6 or 7. I've kept 3, and I'm happy with that. Now, I just want to address a couple of questions and comments that I got when I shared my first video and introduced you to these nets. Someone asked me, are they any good in deep water? Well, you could attach a rope to them, but I don't reckon that'd be as good. I reckon you'd be better off with an open top lift net, or pyramid net as some people call them, or a drop net with steeper sides to trap the yabbies in. I think in deep water, the yabbies have got too much time to scoot off out the sides. So I don't think they would be great in deep water. You could certainly put a cord on them and adapt them, but they wouldn't be as good, and you'd need to sort of fish them vertically. Somebody else said they'll never replace the Opera House nets. They're not designed to replace the Opera House nets. The Opera House nets that are now illegal, but when they were legal, I used to use them in this very dam, they're a trap. The yabbies would go into them nets looking for the bait, and then they'd get trapped and they couldn't get out. These don't work like that. If you leave these too long, the yabbies will come in and have a feed and then leave again. They're a totally different design of nets. Comparing these nets to Opera House nets is a bit like comparing apples to oranges. These work more along the same lines as the drop nets or hoop nets, which sit flat, and you've got to lift it up at the right time when the yabbies are in there, and you never know when that is. Now, let's compare these to them, the hoop nets. The hoop nets are going to be better. You can throw them out further. They're deeper, they're wider, you're going to get a lot less escapees, but you can't fold them up and carry them in a bucket like I did. You can't put them in a backpack, in a bag, and go hiking off into some remote waterway. These are better for smaller waterways, places just like this where you can just fish yabby, go yabbying close to the edge, and they're good in the sense that they're compact. They might not be as good at catching yabbies, but they're compact, and that's what really sets these nets apart. There's no comparison between any other nets. These are a type of net all on their own. They're convenient more than anything else. Anyway, we'll give them another 5 minutes, then I'll check them again. Righto, time to check them again. The camera angles aren't good. GoPro released a new head strap, and it seems to be pointing down a lot more, so hopefully I've got it pointing up a bit more this time. A bit betterer. Righto, net number 1. This had 3 in it last time. Oh, it's got a big one. Yes! You beauty! It's a monster! That's what I want. A few of them. I've got 3 of them in the bucket now. 3 of them in there and one not quite as big. You beauty! Look at this. I can feel a catch and cook coming on. Now the last 2 times I've checked this net, I've lost a big one. Will I lose another big one this time? No, but I'll catch a medium one. Oh, it's not big. Look, I'm going to throw him in because I'm not getting a huge amount. Yeah, I'll throw him in. I can always throw him back later if I need to. Right, net number 3 and nothing. I don't think I've caught a yabby in that net today, have I? Right, net number 4 and nothing. I might leave this out and move it. Net number 5 down in the grimy end of the lake. Oh, we've got 2. We've got 1. Sorry, 1. And he's a good one. You beauty. Yeah. Alright, I put the net back. The meat's getting a bit mangled looking. Right, I'm moving this net up to this end of the dam. Let's see how it goes in here. Well, folks, I'm happy. This is the tally so far. The best yabbying session I've had this season. Right, I'm going to check the nets again. It's been about 10 minutes again. 10 minutes seems to be working okay. This one hasn't been in as long as the others because this is the one that I moved. This was put in last. Nothing. I'd probably say this net's been the most successful out of them all, and there's another keeper. Beauty. Nice big black yabby. No eggs. You ripper. If there's nothing in this net, I reckon I'll move it. I'm going to move this net. Right. And nothing. Probably should move this one. Might move this one next time. This is the net that I'm putting up underneath all this mucky grime and stuff, and it hasn't caught a single yabby yet. Yes, it has. It's got a nice one. Oh, I might have got one last time as well, I think. To be honest, I've forgotten. Well, I'll leave this one here. There's worked that time. Beauty. Here's a keeper. Right, now I can go out here. Let's see how that spot goes. Rightio, it's time to check them again. I'm going to start with the one that I moved. And I reckon it's going to have 2 in it. And I was out by 2. This is the one that I moved last time. It's got none. They've gone off the bite. This net's been the most consistent net all day. None. Uh-oh. They've gone off the bite. And no, I'm not going to move this net. This is the only time I've checked the nets and caught nothing. Right, I'm leaving it up to this last net to catch something. Nothing. That's the only time I've been around all nets and not caught anything. Right, this one can just go here. Right, it's time for the final check of these nets. Then I'm going to take the meat out, take the nets out, then head off and find a picnic table somewhere and start cooking. Nothing. These yabbies seem to have just gone off the bite all of a sudden, don't they? I was getting them every time I checked the nets, every round of the nets, and then nothing. Watch how easy it is to fold these nets up. I'll rip the bait out. I can undo the string later. Right, bait's all gone. They don't bend a lot because there's already a circle bend in these nets, so you just fold the sides in like that, and that's it. Fold it up. I'll open these up and dry them out later when I get home. But that's it, there's 2 nets packed away, ready to go. Simple as that. That's why I like them. This net was going really well before they stopped biting. This had yabbies in it every time. They've just stopped. Isn't that amazing? I can't believe how these yabbies have just shut down. They've just gone off the bite. And absolutely nothing. This is the one that I moved. And absolutely nothing. Isn't it amazing? They've just shut right down. Anyway, let's go and find a picnic table somewhere and have a cook up. Rightio, time to set up and start cooking. Now I've got a bit of a mess here. I've got my Jetboil Genesis, my base camp series. I really love this stove. That's the pot that goes with it. And I put some water in there. I've got some vinegar. I've got some lemons. I forgot to bring salt. Oh well, doesn't matter. Now, whenever American people land on my Yabby cooking videos, they always ask, where's the Cajun? You got to use Cajun seasoning. I don't know what the fuss is about. I've never used it before, so I've got some here to try. So I'm going to boil these yabbies with some lemon, some vinegar, and some Cajun seasoning. Now, I haven't got a huge amount of yabbies, but it's still early in the season, and I was happy to get these ones that I've got. Let's have a look. I've got probably 8 or 9 there, but some of them are quite large yabbies. So this is going to be good. Let's get organised. Put the water in the pot. I reckon there's a quicker way than that. Put a bit more water in. I brought 2 bottles of water with me here. I'll leave a little bit there for some washing up. I'll pour a heap of vinegar in. That's a pretty rad mixture of water and vinegar. Put that up here on the boiler. bit of an angle here. That's all right, that'll do. Put the lid on there. I might start and just get that boiling. Crank that right up. Right, I'll get this little knife. I'm going to cut these lemons in half. I'm going to squeeze the juice out, and then I'm just going to throw them in. Squeeze the juice out. Squeeze. Throw them in. If nothing else, I'll make this area smell very nice by doing this. Now normally that's all I do, exactly what I've just done, although I put a bit of salt in as well, which I forgot to bring this time. The whole Cajun seasoning thing is new to me. I don't know how much to put in, when to put it in. I might wait until the water's about to boil, then I'll tip it in then. Well, the water's already warming up. It's far from boiling, but it's certainly starting to warm up. One of the things I love about this Genesis is these holes on the lid. I didn't bring any tongs, but that's okay because I can just grab the handle, tip all the water out, and that actually acts as a strainer and strains the water out. Now I'm not trying to emulate an American crawfish boil. They have all kinds of different seasonings and they put corn and stuff in there, and they usually cook like heaps of them all at once. I just want to see what all the fuss is about with the Cajun seasoning. Righto, we've got a bit of a boil happening. Let's put some Cajun, it's got a protective cap under it, of course it has. Well, I'll put that up on my head while I get rid of this cap. I don't know how much to put in. Alright. I'll take the lid off and... Is that enough? How much do you need? Let's stuff it. Let's just put it all in. Let's put the whole jar in. I honestly don't know. I'll put the whole jar in. I'll give it a bit of a stir with this little knife. It actually smells very nice. I have to admit, it smells really good. I might have been a little bit heavy-handed on the Cajun seasoning. I'll be up at a raging boil. Oh yeah. Gotta do that carefully, don't I? Okay, what a nip from one of them would not be pleasant. Is it Cajun or Cajun? I'm not sure. Anyway, these Yabbies are going to help me celebrate this special occasion. Oh, we've got a raging boil there. I might just take that lid off and let it boil away there without the lid for a few minutes. It's going to be interesting to see how much of that Cajun flavour actually gets into the Yabby meat. When it boiled over, it made a mess of my pot and the table. Whoops. Looks like Yabbies and smells like roast chicken a little bit. Alright, let's see if I can strain some of this water out without burning myself. Righto, here's my Yabbies. Not a huge feed, but it's going to be an enjoyable feed nonetheless. 6 big ones and 2 mediums, mediocres. That'd be good in some dams, but in this dam they're not the greatest. But anyway, so I kept 8 and I threw back half a dozen or so as well. I didn't catch a lot, but it is still quite early in the season. It's only the first week of October, so I'm really happy with that. Anyway, I'm going to shell these now, and then I'm going to eat them, and I'm going to tell you whether they were any good or not with the Cajun seasoning. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to shell them all here, leave all the shells on the board so I can take them away and throw the scraps near an ant nest or something. Then I'm going to put the meat on the table with a bit of water, on the plate here with a bit of this water, so that I can wash it, because a lot of it will be a little bit yucky, especially these soft shelled ones. Right, there's all my shells. I didn't keep the claws off this one. One of them's only a small claw, and the big claw is really dinted and damaged. But I did keep the bigger claws. There'll be some a good snack in those claws. Anyway, the moment of truth. There's the claws, there's the meat. They're nice sized yabby tails. The moment of truth. I've never cooked yabbies in Cajun seasoning before. How do they taste? They taste very nice. I actually can't taste a lot of the Cajun seasoning. I put the whole jar of Cajun seasoning in the water. Maybe I done it wrong, I don't know. They just taste like yabbies cooked in water without Cajun seasoning. They taste very, very nice. Yum. That is easily the nicest food on the planet. I've said that to people in the past. Yabbies are the nicest meat or the nicest food on the planet. I'm going to enjoy these now as a bit of a snack, and then I'll get back to you and give you some final thoughts on this way of cooking them. Well, that was right up there with some of the best feeds of yabbies that I've ever had. It wasn't the biggest feed of yabbies I've ever had. I've certainly eaten a lot more yabbies than that in one sitting, but it was right up there as in flavour and taste. It was magnificent. But did the Cajun seasoning have anything to do with that? Maybe a little bit. To be honest, I could barely taste it. Despite putting the whole jar of Cajun seasoning in the water, there certainly wasn't an overbearing taste of Cajun seasoning. In fact, the taste was only minimal, but it was very nice. I seemed to be able to taste the Cajun seasoning more in the claws than what I could in the tail meat, and I'm not sure why that is. And even then, it wasn't overly strong anyway. The downside was the Cajun seasoning has made everything filthy. As soon as the pot boiled over, there's seasoning all around the side of the pot. I've got a lot of cleaning to do. But I do think that the Cajun seasoning did enhance the yabbies, the feed of yabbies, but maybe not as much as I expected that it would. Folks, that was a fun experiment. The yabbies are going to start biting. Well, they've started biting now, and they're only going to get better. This season, there'll be some epic yabbying sessions. There'll be some quiet yabbying sessions and everything in between, because that's the nature of fishing. You never have a jackpot day every time you go out. I've had a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you all very much for watching.